Hello, I'm Robin Gibson and this is the Harvard House Money Morsel. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell so that you get a notification when we release a new video. I'm sitting again today with Michael Porter, Chief Investment Officer of Harvard House. Welcome, Michael.
Morning, Robin.
Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Michael, the markets have actually rallied a little bit in the last number of days. Now, I'm sure it's a continuation of the story we've been talking about for some time, inflation and market expectations. So can you give us a bit of a roundup as to what's happening?
Yeah, Robin. Another day, another market movement almost. It's crazy out there at the moment. Really, Robin, this week in the US, we've had CPI data. So on Wednesday night, we had consumer prices, CPI. And that was, if you look at the headline number, CPI dropped from sort of 6% to 5%. And bear in mind that it peaked at 9.5% back in late last year, October. So that's come down a long way.
Yes.
But I think the devil is sometimes a little bit in the detail. So core CPI, which takes out food and fuel prices, which is quite a key component of what we spend our money on, that actually is still sort of 5.6%, and it has fallen a little bit, but it hasn't really come down that much. And services CPI, which really measures education and rent and medical and all those restaurants and hotels and all those other kind of things, has hardly come down. It sort of peaked at 7.6%. 2 months ago and 7.3%. So if you look at the headline number, it actually looks pretty good. I mean, 9.5 down to 5, and you're thinking, "Ooh, that's quite exciting," Yeah. But if you actually go into some of the detail behind it, then it's not. Maybe it's the inflation picture is not quite as encouraging.
Yes. Yeah. Michael, we've also had a release of PPI, producer price inflation. Can you explain what the difference is between PPI and CPI and why it's so critical to us?
Yeah. Sure. Robin, CPI is, the definition is consumer price inflation. So that's what we are paying. That's essentially our basket of goods and how much prices rise for the man in the street. Producer price inflation measures the prices that manufacturers are paying for their goods and services. So like the price of the input costs that go into manufacturing things, and then obviously they then pass that on. So PPI has fallen a lot. Sorry, my memory's just gone blank and I've forgotten the number, but I think it fell to 3% last night in the US. And that's essentially that's almost like a leading indicator of where CPI should be heading in the next couple of months. Because if your producer prices are, if the pressure is easing there, then manufacturers aren't feeling the pressure to push those price increases through to the consumer when they manufacture their goods.
Yes.
So essentially, it's almost a leading indicator of where inflation should be heading to. But as I say, you've got to slightly caution it because PPI is slightly more goods manufacturing orientated, and some of the issues in CPI are coming from the services side of the economy where it doesn't always apply.
Yes. Yeah. And so we're really worried about core inflation or the inflation that's really sticky, because even though prices might be falling off, if that sort of core element stays up, that can mean higher interest rates for longer, doesn't it?
Yeah, and interest rate, Robin, I mean, the chart is just going haywire every day, and interest rate expectations are changing. So if you just think back to your presentation that you did at Insight last month, where you had the very simple little equation of dividend over R minus interest rates minus growth. I mean, interest rates are just changing almost day by day. Expectations about interest rates. 1 minute they're falling because inflation data is much better. The next minute they're rising because growth might be a bit more robust. And we're almost in a situation now, Robin, when you think back to the financial crisis, that was a long time ago, but where bad news is good news.
Okay.
So you sort of want the situation now where you want economic data to actually be weaker than expected, because that sort of signals that the economy is slowing down and that inflationary pressures are going to reduce. If you have some very strong economic data, even though it's obviously good, strong economic data is good, that's kind of what you want. The market is going to interpret that negatively in that it means that interest rates are going to stay higher for longer. So we're in a really, a Kenwood mixer at the moment in terms of the markets. It's just all going in there. You know.
So, Michael, bringing it back to asset management and building clients' portfolios, obviously we look at the economics side, but what you and the team are really doing is looking at how management is integrating between the economics and their business model. Is that right?
Yeah, Robin. So, I mean, I think when you build an investment case for a stock, you take the top down, and the top down is looking at all the economic stuff and growth rates and all the things we've just been talking about, inflation. And then you also look at the bottom up case for a company. So you look at an individual company. What does the company do? What is the management like? What is the balance sheet like? What is the cash flow statement like? How is this company affected by the top down? And you sort of marry those two together, and you get the investment case for a company. So it's not. I mean, some asset managers will just follow a top down model and be very macro driven. Others will be completely bottom up driven.
Yes.
We definitely somewhere in the middle where we marry those two approaches.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it's really nice to get an insight into what happens in the background and with your portfolio. Thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget to tune in next time, like and subscribe so you can get a notification. Goodbye.